What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today I am reviewing a beer from the Bellwoods Brewery, and they're out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and this is their Milkshark, the mango and tangerine variant. So they are calling this a Milkshake IPA that is brewed with lactose, vanilla, mango, and tangerine. Comes in at 7% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed at the time of review. This can is just over 3 weeks old, and I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to a buddy of mine, Ryan, for hooking me up with this one. We did an in-person trade recently. He hooked me up with 4 different beers, and this was one of the 4, so thank you very much. Good sir, I do appreciate it. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer haul video I did of the beers he hooked me up with, along with my Canadian haul from my recent trip to Ontario. So yeah, Milkshark. I've had a couple from the series. I don't remember the first one I had, but the last one I had was about a year ago, and it was their pineapple Milkshark, and yeah, it was delicious. So recently when Ryan said he was going to hook me up with this one, I was quite excited. He was actually going to give me a different Bellwoods beer, part of their monogamy series, their single hop series, and then he was like, I think you would enjoy this one a little bit more, and I'm going to agree with him. I think I will. So yeah, these have been very popular since Bellwoods released the first Milkshark a couple years ago. I mean, they were selling out in a couple hours. Over the last probably 6 to 8 months, I don't know how many they have released, but it seems like the hype's dying down a little bit. I mean, they're still sought after, but I don't think it's as crazy as it was a couple years ago, mostly because a lot of breweries, especially in Ontario, are releasing Milkshake IPAs, doing style IPAs, the whole nine. But yeah, anyway, last summer they released the Tangerine version, I believe, and a couple friends of mine were going nuts about it. They loved it, so this is, I guess, kind of that... I guess that variant plus mango? I don't know. We will see. Anyway, let's get in glass. I'm going to use the Bellwoods Bring Out Your Dead glass. So kinda hashtag proper glassware. Not really, but kinda. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Not really. I should use this glass more often. I really enjoy it. But yeah, I just haven't. So anyway, let's give it a pour. Yeah, so it's pouring out hazy and turbid, baby, the whole nine. It's looking like what you would expect a Milkshake IPA to look like. I just really like their label too. It's basically a take on their Witch Shark label. But yeah, that pours out a really hazy, orange-yellow color, very, very turbid. Had about a half finger of a bright white head that looked relatively creamy, somewhat soapy. But yeah, that plays the role. I also took this can out of the fridge 25 minutes ago. Ryan talked about how he liked it with a little bit of, the temperature bumping up. And I usually drink most of my hop-forward beers about half an hour of fridge, somewhere around there. I like to get them in the 50 range at the very least. I'm not like Paul over at PaTroll News who drinks everything at room temperature, but nothing wrong with that. I just a little bit cooler for my IPAs and double IPAs and milkshake IPAs. Anyway, let's get nose. Yeah, ooh, very like zippy, zesty, acidic tangerine bite to the nose. I'm saying tangerine because I know it's in there, but I mean you could mistake it for orange, something like that. Definitely a citrus fruit, like an underripened mango, like a greener mango before it comes full on ripened. It doesn't have a huge like sweetness to it, but I'm definitely getting the mango. Little bit of a vanilla kick there. I would guess lactose if I was doing this blind. They're brewing it with vanilla, but it doesn't really smell like there's a bunch of vanilla in here. It just smells like there's some lactose. And then there's some nice hop forward characteristics. I'm also getting other stone fruits like peach and apricot. There's a little bit of a dankness and earthiness in here too. Yeah, like there's an herbal component. It has really full-on juice vibes to this one, like you're actually drinking, or I guess you're smelling a fruit juice, like a orange, tangerine, just citrus juice. But there's underlying IPA characteristics. So, does it smell like a Milkshake IPA? To a certain extent. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a Milkshake IPA doing it blind. I would probably say there's lactose in here though. But anyway, it smells pretty damn good, so let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Fucking delicious. Yeah. Ooh. Hang on. Right up front, I'm smacked with a bunch of vanilla from the lactose, from the vanilla. Unmistakable. There is a lot of vanilla. Passes through the palate. That underripened mango comes to the forefront. Again, I'm not getting like a really sweet mango. I'm getting just like an underripened, just like mango characteristics to the actual flavor of a mango, not a sweetness to it or associated with it. And then I'm getting that really slightly acidic but zippy, just like tangerine juice quality, like 2/3 of the way through the palate, 3/4 of the way through the palate. It finishes semi-tart. There is definitely an acidic vibe there, but then there's the sweetness that carries on throughout the entire palate from the vanilla. So the actual finish, a little bit of tartness, a little bit of dryness, a little bit of sweetness, and like it has, I really like the finish of this beer. Mouthfeel 7%, a little bit thin for me. This is like lower side of medium body. I was thinking with the lactose and everything, this might be a bit thicker. It is only 7%, but still a little bit thin for me. Yeah, we'll say medium. Okay, I'll give it. The body's fine. I'd like to see a little bit bigger just because it is a Milkshake IPA, but the body's fine. Mouthfeel, soft, smooth, creamy, what you kind of expect from Milkshake IPA. There is carbonation here, and there is a nice creaminess from the lactose, but I would say it's appropriate for a Milkshake IPA for sure. The drinkability of this is absolutely through the roof. As you can see, I'm just taking this down. It's weird because it has dessert qualities to it, wrapped up in a super refreshing beer. And then there are some IPA characteristics. I really haven't talked about them, but that herbaceous dankness, a little bit of like just herbal, almost earthy quality is omnipresent on the palate, but it's underlying. It is like, the fifth, sixth note. It never steps in the way, but it kind of lets you know, this is a little bit of a hop forward beer. Would I say necessarily IPA this? No, it has like the bitterness or hop character you would maybe associate with like a pale ale. Or maybe even, I shouldn't even say session IPA. A lot of session IPAs are, super hop forward because the malt base doesn't really, blend with it and balance it out. But I would say that this is a Milkshake IPA to an extent, but this is drinking more like a fruited, just like a fruited beer in general. I couldn't even say sour because there's a slight bit of tartness from, I'd imagine, the tangerine and the mango, but not too much. Now, this is killer. Is it as good as the pineapple one I had last year? No, but it's damn close. This is really tasty. I'm going to give Milkshark, the mango and tangerine variant from Bellwoods, I'm going to give this a low 4.5 out of 5. I'm actually going to go 4.45 out of 5. I think it's really close to a 4.5. I'm really digging this. I've almost drank what I poured here in the glass. Super refreshing, super drinkable. It has, like I said, a great combination of like dessert vibe to it, but then you get a little bit of the IPA and you get a little bit of like a sour note or tartness to it. The fruits do shine in here. I would like to see, I guess, the mango be a little bit more sweetened in your face and maybe like the acidity from the tangerine for me personally knocked down a bit. But yeah, this is a just very tasty beer. Nothing, I expect that from Bellwoods. They make great beers. They're one of my favorite Canadian breweries, and the Milksharks I've had have been pretty damn good, and this is another one in the series that I enjoy. So thank you very much, Ryan, for this one. I don't know the cost on this one. I'd imagine Canadian, it's probably around $5 a can, somewhere in that realm, and brewery only. These releases are brewery only, but I do believe they're brewery only, but they do sell their beers online now in Canada. I think every Wednesday they put new beers online. So if you're in Ontario and you want to get some Bellwoods, check out their website. Like I said, the new releases on Wednesday and you can get it shipped to your house. And I think it's like a $15 flat shipping charge for up to 9 bottles, 8-9 bottles, something like that. So yeah, anyway, love what Bellwoods does. Really digging this one. 4.45 out of 5. Thanks again, Ryan. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers. Not cheers. 7%. Why? I just need to maybe mention the ABV right up front, but 7%. Nah, bro. Nah, for real. Cheers.